Welcome to Small Biz Flash, where owners and managers get their briefing on small business news, trends, and insights to make better decisions and increase their business's value. I'm your host, Adam Hewitt. Thanks for joining me. On today's show, we pause our multi-part series, Surviving the Economic Downturn, to talk about something on many small business owners' minds at this time of year, health insurance. It's very expensive, but to compete in this tight labor market, it's a must-have benefit. So, we'll talk to an expert about your options. That's coming up right after the news roundup. All right, let's dive in. The November jobs report was released last week, and headlines trumpeted the unexpectedly strong gain of 263,000 jobs for the month, keeping the overall unemployment rate at 3.7%. But dig a little deeper, and there's more to the story. The household survey, another component of the report, showed that employment actually dropped by 138,000 jobs, and that the labor participation rate slid downward to 62.1%. For small businesses, new job growth and hourly earnings growth held relatively steady in November, according to the latest Paychex IHS market report. Hourly wages grew at 5.04% last month, the same pace as in October. Rising interest rates are just adding to the headaches small businesses have already been dealing with over the last couple of years, on top of inflation, worker shortages, and broken supply chains, according to reporting from the Wall Street Journal. A recent survey conducted by Vistage Worldwide for the Wall Street Journal found that 46% of small business owners said higher interest rates are affecting their business. Small companies are coping through a variety of means. Some are asking customers for at least a partial prepayment instead of waiting until a product or service is delivered. Others are deferring research and development or capital expenditures. Small businesses chalked up a record $1 billion in sales on Amazon over Thanksgiving weekend, the traditional kickoff to the Christmas shopping season. Amazon Handmade and the Small Business Gift Guide helped make Amazon users more aware of small business merchants on the platform. You can find out more information on this and other stories in the news roundup by going to the links in the show notes. Small business owners, your finances are the cornerstone of your business. You need the bookkeeping pros at SBS Accounting and Advisors to keep your AP, AR, and financial statements on track. For 16 years, the good folks at SBS have been helping owners like you make better decisions and grow their profits. Go to sbsaccountants.com today to set up a free 30-minute consultation. Use the promo code FLASH to get 20% off your setup fee. Again, that's sbsaccountants.com. I want to welcome to today's show Monica Watson. Monica is the owner and president at Hene Watson Advisors. It's a firm that helps small business owners acquire health insurance and other benefits for their employees. So, Monica, thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate your time today.
Thanks for having me, Adam. So I am Monica Watson. I have been in the small group health insurance industry for 30 years now, servicing as many as 300 small groups in the Atlanta area. And we service those and renew those and shop those out annually.
And so obviously Monica has a ton of experience, and she's just someone great to talk with about this topic of health insurance from a small business owner's perspective. So Monica, I was looking at some stats right before we got on the call today, and actually only 58% of small firms offer health insurance, and that definition of small firms goes up to 200 employees. So really, I'm sure small firms that are 20, 30, 40 employees, probably that adoption rate's much lower, simply because it's so expensive. So I know we're going to talk about multiple issues here, but can you kind of help small business owners and managers out there who are trying to figure out how in the world do we offer competitive benefits and get good talent, especially in this job environment we're in right now? How do we do that effectively? Can you help us understand where we're at in the health insurance market and how we can be competitive?
Sure. So, small group plans, a group policy is always going to give you the best access to providers because it's the only way to get the broadest doctor networks on your plan. However, of course, small group plans are very expensive. So, in today's small group world, is from 2 to 50 insured employees. The more you have insured, the more bargaining power you have. So there are two types of small group plans. One is known as the ACA plans. All of the unhealthy or sick groups tend to end up in the ACA plans because those are guaranteed regardless of health history. And the rates are actually based on the entire small group pool of insureds. When you are insuring at least 5 or more employees on your plan and the health history is pretty decent, then you can look at level funded options where your final rates are based on the number of people you're insuring or the number of people that they have to spread that risk out into, as well as the health history within your group. You can jockey or go back and forth between ACA and a level funded plan year by year, depending on claims and the status of your census or enrollment, employees enrolled in that plan. You can also consider an individual policy depending on your business. So, individual plans, the downside there is that they're all very narrow, small HMO networks.
Okay.
So if you have some unhealthy folks, this may not be an option for you, depending on how important that employee is to you, to your business. If you have a business, let's say it's a daycare where your employees aren't paid that much, that means that they could get a premium subsidy, which would actually make the plan, having insurance through an individual plan, much more affordable for them and for you. If you were to have a small lawyer group where you have to retain and keep more talented work, where you're having to make sure you have plans to keep these people long term, then you want to look into a group plan. But if individual plans are an option for you, one thing you want to be aware of is that the government will give those employees a premium subsidy and reduce what they are charged per month based on their salary. There are many different HRA plans. The employee may come to you and say, hey, I went to healthcare.gov, the marketplace, and they're saying that you can contribute to this plan. But beware that if you do that through the marketplace, that disqualifies them from the premium subsidy, which isn't going to help you or them. The best thing to do is for you to put a tax-free reimbursement into their paycheck every payroll so that they are also still getting that premium subsidy on the individual plan from the government. And so that's the best way to do that, regardless of what is on healthcare.gov. You can still do a tax-free reimbursement. Then it's up to them. You don't have to worry or figure out if they're paying their premium, what plan they're on, what deductible or carrier they chose. That's completely up to them, and you've honored your part of giving them this tax-free money as your contribution to them.
It sounds like, you have to do this in the correct way. It could get a little bit complicated, and if you don't do it correctly, then you don't get the tax benefits, et cetera. And I might mention here, too, that we've got a link that Monica provided us in the show notes to a health insurance marketplace calculator where you can go and kind of play around with some of the numbers as well. But Monica, just correct me if I'm wrong, that there sort of is a certain order that you have to go through in a certain process if you as a business owner want to get the benefits from a tax standpoint.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, mm-hmm. And so
that's correct. But you're still going to be writing off that tax-free money you're putting into their check.
Okay, and so everybody listening out there, Monica can help you with that if that's the route you want to go, but she can also certainly help you with those small group plans as well. That's what she really focuses on and specializes in, I think, most of the time. So, Monica, thank you so much for joining us and for enlightening us. And again, if you need help with any of your company insurance needs, Monica's information is going to be in the show notes, and I would really encourage you to reach out to her. I've worked with Monica before, and she's great, and she can help you out. So thanks for joining us, Monica. We really appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for listening to Small Biz Flash. I'm your host, Adam Hewitt. If you enjoyed the show, please help me expand its reach by telling one other person about the podcast. I sure do appreciate it, and I'll see you next week.